Okay, so I'm going to do an example, something with quite a few more sides for a regular polygon. Really, the process is the same. Okay, if we're going to use the formula, um, which says that the area is equal to 1/2 the perimeter times the apothem. Okay, which is the way I prefer to do it. You can also do the triangles. Then we need to know those things. We need to know the apothem. We need to know the perimeter. Okay, to get the perimeter, we need to know the number of sides and the side length. Okay, so the thing about regular polygons is you have to understand that in this case I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 sides. Okay, so n is 16. Let me get those out of the way. I use those marks just to make sure I get the right number. Okay, n is 16. Every 16-sided regular polygon is similar to all other 16-sided regular polygons. Okay, and that's true for any of the regular polygons. We're going to be able to use trig to do this. So the first thing I want is the center, and I'm just going to approximate that. I'll have that located automatically by a computer. And I'm going to draw that segment also. That is a radius. This is the apothem. This is the side. And so this down here is 1/2 of the side. Okay? Did exercises earlier where we found this angle, and it was half of the central angle. And so if I took 180 and divided, well, I could start with 360. 360 divided by 16, or that would give me the central angle, but then I'd have to divide that by 2, right? That would be this angle. I don't really want that angle though. See, I want that other part. So instead of 360 divided by 16, I'm going to do 180 divided by 16. Okay, and so we'll see what that is. That's going to tell me that angle measure, and so I'm going to end up with a triangle. I'm going to just resketch the triangle a little bit larger over here. I don't care if it's exactly to scale or not. This angle is going to be 180 over 16 degrees, whatever that is. Here's the apothem, here's the half side, and here's the radius. So, knowing trig, I need either this angle or that angle. Once I get one, I automatically get the other. And one of those sides. Either the radius, the apothem, or the half side. And with that much information, that's enough to solve. Okay, and so certainly if I gave you the apothem, that would be easier than the radius because I wouldn't have to solve for the apothem then. So let's do a relatively simple one first. Okay, I'm going to say that actually I'm going to give you the side, because here's the thing, I can't just pick some number for the side and some number for the apothem and some number for the radius and just make up a question. Once I pick the side, and let's say S equals 10 centimeters, okay, that determines every other measure in this figure. The apothem is determined now. I don't know what it is, but it's set at some particular length, okay? And so if the side is 10, then half the side is 5. And so now, instead of having that, I now have 5 centimeters. Okay? 180 over 16. Let's see what that is. I'm going to go ahead and pull the calculator out, and the reason is I'm going to be doing trig on it anyway, so I might as well just save the work, right? 180 divided by 16, 11 1/4, 11.25, okay? That's that angle. I need to know the apothem. The perimeter I have, because I have S. So the perimeter up in the top here equals the number of sides times the side length, which is 10, and so that's 16 times 10. Perimeter equals 160 centimeters. Okay, so that's easy. So I have area equals 160 1/2 times the apothem. And now I just need to get the apothem. I have the side opposite the angle that I know, and I want the side adjacent. That's tangent. So tangent of that angle, which was what, 11.25, equals opposite over adjacent, which is the apothem. We know from the algebra, back from doing trig, that that's going to be the switch. So I'm going to get the apothem is going to be 5 over tangent of 11.25. And so that's what I'm going to use in my calculator, along with the 1/2, 160. So again, I tend to just go ahead and type things in. Sometimes I factor and say, well, that's 80, that's fine, but 0.5 times 160 times, and now I'm going to use a parenthesis, 5 divided by tangent of 11.25, close parentheses. Okay? And that should be it. I want to check and make sure. Let's see, I've got the 5, the 160, it's 0.5, 160, okay, 5 over tangent, 11.25. That all makes sense. Okay. 2010.936. 2010.936 centimeters square. Okay? I'm going to keep 3 decimals. It's not an application. Okay, so I want to make sure that makes sense. All right, one thing I didn't do was actually figure out what the apothem was. If I wanted to do that, I could just go ahead and say 5 divided by tangent of 11.25. Make sure that makes sense. 25 centimeters. Does that make sense? Well, this figure is to scale, and so if this is 10, does it make sense that that's 2.5 times that? And you could approximate and say, yeah, that looks like it makes sense. Okay? So if that's 25-ish, then the radius is a little more, maybe 26 or something. And if I square that, that's radius squared multiplied by 3. It seems like we're getting pretty close to what I want. Okay? So anyway, that's how you find the area of a regular polygon.